admit. I know, say, sometimes NDC for person here politics and say, oh, when you Dumsor, it is Dumsor. Be bold and admit. Say, Ghana for ye nae. And yes, when ye as I want to be a trim. If ye doom can ye sasso, near doom near swap. At least, ye nim say, I mean, being better and yansan. So officially, Dumsor is back. Let us cement it. What you say? Na NDC for now. Omo sumo omo crop for social media ni omo commentators ni omo bloggers ya. Omo ti social media obi akoka Dumsor asema na edi na tem no. You cannot insult 32 million Ghanaians. Mami kan che that's fundamental. Ye fair no your foundation. That's the basics. To mean dig Ghana for 32, 33 million Ghanaians in atem that we have complained about Dumsor. In any case, the fundamental right to be able to complain about Ghana is number one, or a citizen of Ghana. When you're citizens in Chombi, till Obi a citizen in Obi. It is a Dumsor ba inflation cost ro. I want you to Galamsey cost ro. And a national issue be a no be a can be a. Only rights will be Obi atem. Because said you're a citizen of Ghana, all rights or Kasano. So I know this was a citizen of Ghana also or Kasa. Even the right to speak about Ghana issues, no. And yet it is not qualified by someone out your tax and out your tax. And there Mary Usiko and I know didn't any broker to a Pentecost chairman this week. Very disgraceful, very unfortunate. There's no timetable, let's say. So over Kasa and the NDC, and then you must have spoken under MPP. Who said that? Why they determine that qualification? Say I was so big Kasa by one Kasa NDC MPP timer, and they don't speak NDC time. What do you people mean? Then this week, Dumsor any idea cost man Kasa. Kasa NDC full soldiers abani ebedi watem. What nonsense is that? NDC. In fact, more NDC. The number of times that you people spoke against MPP4, when they were Galamsey time now, MPP4 year Galamsey. NDC, you spoke about it, and rightfully so. It is within your rights. Some MPP Nanado Nankasa or can say, me sacrificing me seat to fight Galamsey. Now, so one fighting Galamsey, that's the NDC for complaining. They had every right to complain. And yet, we supported NDC to fire MPP for the Nanado. Even within MPP for Nankasa internal politics. Internal politics impo. Ye kaseti Nanado, say Nanado, the oye na oye statue near the no. A bit affected by Omia, the oye and yet is display of opulence, display of power. We spoke against Nanado. But I'm saying at the time now, Obi Kaseti and Nanado, no. The qualification wasn't that Obi and Kasentia Mahama one, a minor, Moon Kasentia Kufuado. Time I Kasana MPP for be no moody at them. No. We all spoke against MPP for fact. I was one of the people, UTV, now me can't be a say. MPP for suppressing for freedom of expression. Because Okasani saw one Okasani do at them. But NDC time, no, I deny West. And this is a genuine observation. I've suffered at them over 30 years. And they say, no, many comments, I am reading and family. And come and quote and come and share. Into them the end. Mufanko bloggers now, and I say, Munyo, a TikTokers near there, and I say, Mudi or Mata Mufanko, Moton. I at them the try be careful. But the truth has to be told. So, we are NDC full soldier. Now, what joining the trumpeting of attacking people just because of more complaining about Dumsor Ghana and Yawu.
Abusia, where the Vim lady. Efia pokuya or the sembia to dwaya watch the say o maame wu na so wada ade bechi obia maame be sore ne hwe o maame watch the say Ghana for yen yaji atum se Dumsor na aba enti NDC for mamu fan wada e mamu nyese asemu de BBC ye se be yeni adwene a esum ne han ye hunu sunsune ye wom kapreka twa o se yaji atum se Dumsor na ba MPP apenso ebi ba kakra Mompo de omo catch there say a dum sie. If you so mudum the kakra no mu sie into omo pene the timetable by say I would ye sie into would I say ni say. It is a bar yenim say a o man how. But NDC for try say omo be defend abra cost of one more pro. NDC for try say omo be defend Dumsor wa abra amanfo fie ehihie. Ama NDC try say omo be defend Dumsor ewa abra omo ye fridge mu adwuma omo tonton drinks ne nem omo niema essay ena vim lady afia pokuya se Ghana for sebe enye de yentimi mfa nche aban ni o eniema atutu ye enye de yentimi nkase aban enye hwe enye wo haw na emoma ye hunu de wo ye na yenyi ntum ne ye hunu se 2013 ye bi bai 2014 ebi by 2015 ebi by kosi 2016 mo ba be kono e na mo yensiesie ni nema bi a aja MPP by na gina so se MPP for e de bi be kan ho o se de mo ye ye o ye de enim se MPP apen so nkane na gina so enti afia pokuya se de mo de wada na mo defend nema na emfa ye nko ba bia mo kan kire se Ghana wo hawo na ba ninti temafo ene mo bebe sumu anwumre ebo no nsia ye bedum no na temafo na wo mo ho so kumase kwada sofo okina no pa no nsia ye bedum no kwada sofo na wo mo ho so asafo market mo ye cold store madawoma ebo sa abrewe ye bedum no na wo mo ho so se generator petrol bi mpo no bepa agumu ano be han generator bia no wo hu no eba ne sei ena Dumsor aba Ghana fo ye nyina ye ni tuam esumu ba ye hu light ba ye hu enso NDC fo se da bi ye numu no ye nsoe enye Dumsor ye nko tie film lady ene watu to be dia man ye NDC papa ene de wakono je won to sabi ene film lady to sabi fi se de ekoso Ghana no ene ye nyan enye film lady nko enipa bebre no a oduro pastor oduro ordinano atomo bi omo TikTok NDC mabunu omo TikTok ni Facebook ni YouTube NDC for na asa sori wo mo party so a ene omo tutu bi ma party ne chese omo ni mo yegu ase fise ne mo omo de board ewuro se MPP NDC baba be ye free mu agi ye free NDC MPP fo nsem no ene omo baaye no enko yie enti ama o defend NDC a wo bre fise ba bia obeka bia na obi di Dumsor ukoka asem bia na obi di kokko nteso ukoka asem bia na obi di wei ukoka asem bia na we di wei enti ama NDC ene u defend party na wo bre yenya daje na yentie vim lady ene nsem a wo hwe agu ho ne bi
because it's not like the regular load shedding where you are aware that for a foreseeable period of time you cannot restore power. We cannot do weekly publications. In fact, engineers are working around the clock. Within this week, they are pushing to restore all the plants back online. And so we can only provide you with a very short interval periods. Indeed, this morning, we published a schedule for 6 o'clock to 6 p.m. That's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This afternoon, they've had to review it because one more plant is come on with about 140 megawatt. And so we would not live in denial. When we face challenges, we will tell Ghanaians. We know that, like me, every Ghanaian wants to enjoy uninterruptible supply of power. But I also do know that Ghanaians also appreciate it when we have genuine challenges that is not caused by policy failure or intentional. We will be honest with you, but we'll also tell you what we are doing to address the situation. And we have since been doing that right from the day I visited the plant and all the periodic updates that we've been providing. Let me also state clearly that disasters of this nature are neither predictable nor entirely preventable. And even in advanced countries, sometimes they face challenges. However, what remains within our control is the speed, the coordination, the honesty, and the determination with which we respond to these challenges. In our attempt to swiftly restore power, safety would remain paramount. The safety of the engineers is very, very critical. We can't afford.
Well, my mama, good evening. I akwaba na enede a fire and I will see a fire because officially Dumsor is back and it's unfortunate. Say at now sama Dumsor aba back. You know, and they say, oh, planning, I know a plan. They say the minister and I can address in a press conference. But said they make an answer, yen sugar coat you. They say yen sugar coat. Whether it's government, whether it's opposition, yen sugar coat you be idea. And obian so kas obedi atemwa ain't change the truth or the facts of the matter. Entime who say NDC phobia start say oh ye bedding phobia tem. By the way, yeah program me live is also live on High Live Radio, is High Live is also live on King's Jersey and it's our live so Ashanti Media. Me got you FM so picking a live and see yeah be a good evening. We Canada near America yeah good afternoon. But mom we Europe ne Ghana near day good evening to you. Enti we kind of 4x4 near yin some go point by point point by point. What I say, point by point. So I make a point by point. And if I Dumsor issue now, back, no, NDC Aban cannot deny that there's Dumsor, which is why a minister here press conference or change the timetable now because Ghana for have been questioning them. Say, my timetable, they am planning. We don't live in a vacuum. We don't live in a vacuum. Yen sorry, keke. Enyema obibeko ha. Also planning a life. In the evening, we be doing kaniano 30 minutes to cry. So many people who say yes, say ni say. Tell about be planning around their life. It's fair. But the point now of the politics, no, is that the politics is they say MPP for on one side, they almost there. Say Dumsor na back. Because NDC near more no and nothing a MPP for them. MDC for baby so any more they said Dumsor na baba because they will be able to show at least Ghana for record said there's a clear distinction between more NDC and MPP. And in that comes to solution. But the problem I have with NDC no is that initially there was denial. Say no, this is not Dumsor. Masa, you dum kani anwa. You ni NDC fie ni MPP ni fie ni. Yeni na amengo ne society no inti yedum kane be bold and admit. I know say sometimes NDC for person here politics and say do when you Dumsor it is Dumsor. Be bold and admit say be Ghana for ne ye naye ene yeso nye asawo ne gu yetrim if ye dum kane ne ye saso ne ye dum ne ye so at least ye nim say I mean obi bechere ye nyansa. So officially Dumsor is back. Let us cement it. What you say na NDC for now for social media ni omo commentators ni omo bloggers ya omo ti social media obi akoka Dumsor asema ni edi na tem no. You cannot insult 32 million Ghanaians. Mami can't tell. That's fundamental. Your foundation, that's the basics. To mean dig Ghana for 33 million Ghanaians in atem that we have complained about Dumsor. I mean, that's ridiculous. And that's very immature, and very incrassism to insult somebody because we're complaining about Dumsor. What do you mean? Nagana una utia kania bomobi. Una utia in any case, the fundamental right to be able to complain about Ghana is number one, or a citizen of Ghana. When you're citizen in Chombi, till Obia and your citizen in Chombi. It is a Dumsor ba inflation cost. I want you to know Galamsey cost. And a national issue be a no be a can be a. Only rights will be the obiatem. Because said you're a citizen of Ghana, all rights or Kasano. So I know this was a citizen of Ghana also or Kasa. Even the right to speak about Ghana issues. No? And yet it is not qualified by someone out your tax and out your tax. And Maria Usikoya and I know you didn't any broadcast your Pentecost chairman this week. Very disgraceful, very unfortunate, very uncalled for. Apart from say Papano is one of the leader of one of the biggest, I think Pentecost Church is the biggest church in Ghana. Church of Pentecost is the biggest church in Ghana with almost 4 million members. Voters. Voters. It is even the leader of a big church, the fact so Ghanaian, taxo is immaterial. The fact so Ghanaian, all right, because expect me a more so when you panel a head of a whole big church, the Pentecost, and genuinely Nipani making a comment, so say Nenka first, your bunk of words will assume, say no Galamsey it is so, say a bunk of words will assume, because Ubikono Konya Arabia, one where the church will be held responsible. Fair comment. Into your mom for me argument, oh Papa and MPP time or Kasa, that's immaterial. Say MPP time one Kasakra as a citizen of Ghana or right so because there's no clock. There's no timetable, let's say. So over Kasa and the NDC, and then you must have spoken under MPP. Who said that? Why they determine that qualification? Say I was so be Kasa by one Kasa NDC MPP timer, and they don't speak NDC time. What do you people mean? What's that? It's a formula. No one they buy. Constitution is to be our Ghana and Ibia or rights or Kasa. And yes, sacrosanct. So I had the right to have a expression, and you're sacrosanct. And just say, Ebia wakasa mana boroso, wakasa megu obi enumase, wakasa mana tre, no so mrana make provision for publication of false news and answer defamation. And mrana make provision. Into wouldn't need rights or because mo bin kasa. Then this week, Dumsor yeni idea cost man kasa. Okasa NDC full soldiers abani yebedi watem. What nonsense is that? NDC full soldiers. What nonsense is that? This is absolutely nonsense and unacceptable. So politics here, in fact, more NDC. the number of times that you people spoke against MPP4, when they were Galamsey time now, MPP4 yeah Galamsey, NDC, you spoke about it, and rightfully so. It is within your rights. Some the MPP Nanado Nankasa or can say, me sacrificing me seat to fight Galamsey. Now so one fighting Galamsey, that's the NDC for complaining. They had every right to complain. And now we supported NDC to fire MPP for the Nanado. Even within MPP for Nankasa internal politics. Omo internal politics impo. Yena ye kaseti Nanado say Nanado dia wo ye na wo ye statue ni ade no. E be affected by omi ade wo ye na nye is display of opulence, display of power ni ade. Yena we spoke against Nanado. But I'm saying at the time now Obi kaseti Nanado no. The qualification wasn't that Obi an kaseti Mahama 1 aban no a Mon Kasentia Ekufuado. Time I Kasana MPP for be no moody atem no. We all spoke against MPP for fact. I was one of the people. UTV. Now me can't be a say. MPP for suppressing for freedom of expression. Because Okasani so one Okasani do atem. But NDC time oh no, I deny West. And this is a genuine observation. I've suffered at them over 30 years. And they say, no, many comment, I am reading and family. And come quote and come share. And at them did there. Mufanko bloggers now, and say, when you're more a TikTokers near there, and I say, Moody or Mata Mufanko, Moton. I mean, Moody at them did there. Try to be careful. But the truth has to be told. So, we are NDC full soldier. Now, what joining the trumpeting of attacking people just because of more complaining about Dumsor Ghana and Yawu Ghana and NDC in Kwandia. And you see this argument are buying a make it say Dumsor is because of Akonso or more complete. And kudos to me Obi, because I saw that Obi corrected that narrative. Intro say you want to come and fabricate a story. Say Dumsor na Ebano is because of Akosombo. The entire Ghana, Akosombo Kani Omodema Ghana is about 20% pay. The entire Ghana, Kanye yenye free Akosombo ni about 20% pay. Majority of Ghana, your power generation in free Akosombo. In mobium, gas, and gas, any other things, oil near ye didn't generate ye free Akosombo level. Akosombo can anom the mine less than 20%. Into Dumsor a national issue. Affecting ice water for affecting a num for affecting a dome for affecting office for. Into everybody has a right to talk about Dumsor. Officially, Dumsor is back. And no amount of insult will shut anybody up. At him, did you be anyone man did you become Biano to say Dumsor is not back? Dumsor is back. Into your gun in our plan, what they could jump office near the Atoniama or Kanyana Baba to send an affairs near Yenona. But you see, it is the reason why Dumsor is back under NDC Mahama too, no, is because of the necessary politics here. They can't ask them here. The unnecessary politics here. They can't ask them here. It is unnecessary because Kania is a national issue and only affect 24-hour economy. Dumsor will affect it because Obia, what Kania kakra is stable. No, 24-hour economy over the last 1.5 years into me yo till what Kania no put na stable na Dumsor ni hono 24-hour economy na President Mahama Kaso ben 1.5 years in into me ye. Into Dumsor Nankasa is even a year friend saying it's undermining NDC Nankasa 24-hour economy. It will be senseless for any NDC full soldier and any NDC supporter to insult Obi because we are complaining about Dumsor. The person who's complaining about Dumsor no crab wow NDC because or person can any genius now 24-hour economy you can at least start it. Because the last time I passed a law no Dumsor a 24-hour economy law no a guzita no mo call Parliamentary ade ko pass what BBM. And it's an annual quarter President Mahama here 24-hour market or tamale. Now 24-hour market no. Yeah, the day never call power market no. And you can hear ya. And I also Ghana for we are not ready to start the conversation about proper utilizing a yane gu or no solar no. Inti can hear ya ni ebe yusu. Inti mama beka any cock and bull story and say yan kola ukruma. Yeah, your mom low IQ ni bi am waiting me Jimmy omon. Ya jimu daho. You cannot tell any cock and bull story to anybody. Say 20 Kaniana Edumuno because of Akosombo. That is not true. Yen name say it's not true. This will be our own. It's not true. Akosombo Kaniana less than 20%. There was so many. Even we damn crying to me my Kania enough. We damn. Yen type politics near the national issues like Dumsor, Galamsey. inflation, economy, any idea, you know. Say who NDC, who MPP, the two of them must come together and say that you build it on mine and you. And Mahama ba first one and Sana Mahama co-opposition 2016. You know, there was some fantastic move by President Mahama and then buying NDC at the time, which was a year friend saying Sino-Hydro. Is it no? Yes, Sino-Hydro. It was a car power plant in any emergency power systems. Granted, send boarding, but they were emergency power systems are near here to show up your power generation. No, and at that time, no. MPP for buy just after Mahama free power 2016 MPP for buy between 2017 and 2018 no now your power generation after the good power generation but you see Ghana your leaders no and drink what kind that's one of the problem because you buy na year 2016 no 2016 na Mahama oh na because we say Mahama time no Dumsor started around at most Mahama and Mahama mu ye serious cover car power no near Mary near there buy. So we're able to none boarding into Shama Sikani yet and then Sabi brew some predators and then Quasisica. Anki to your boat like you're planning earlier, but in Yabasa into the infernal twitching. Into a Mary Nick Kappa one only idea by you know. At least no, it gave Ghana some solid grounding in terms of energy generation. Into at least your year, you bet me a can enough for Ghana for you. But I feel be a Ghana for you. I feel be your money quite the excuse that now NDC penny back Katena high rise buildings about Ghana and bro sign Kesia about Ghana will be a use air condition. Another cock and boo story. Once in a classroom, another cock and boo story. A broaching can a high rise building, of course, you Dumsor, the Anka broaches and Comoda can a dum and can you Dumsor dum. Another cock and boo story. A broachida. A winter bar, a gas, ne power, a heater the whole day to or show back air conditions into the whole day. I mean, what's this? And I move out to Ghana for coins, ne we are Yagimana. Yagini coins. Seriously. A cock and boo story. Now reason my batting care drink quite anymore. And then who said time Mahama Kofa and Mary Nika power buy, you know, that will give us some stability. Into how can we, with the population growth now, affiliating say Ghana, no, your population will grow at 2.2% every year. And it's every year, and then the Ghana population is 30 million as of 2016, 2017. And then the next 2 years, population betting me as a 31. And at 32, and then just 32, and it comes with corresponding energy consumption needs. Young fan now for young planning, and say, be a married half billion, but oh, Nigeria for sure more my gas, be any Nigeria for Casa, said about increase a gas. Young planning, and that's the difference between a brochure countries be bringing Ghana. Because young planning, immunity, you're a married nickel power now, then you okay, my and Annie at Tenassi, and so young manage the Akano. Because we didn't have to be in Dumsor right now. Dumsor na Ghana experiences is here and the issue about maintenance from I mean a report and I'm a report my Ghana water ECG near day. I knew because the data showed at that time say ECG ne lines ni baby transmission lines ni baby ECG use no baby a week. Baby data from 1960 so say changing. And that is the reason why President Kufuor time ohun nyansa so junior President Kufuor. People don't like President Kufuor, but me, I like President Kufuor. The two chairman. He has his flaws. President Kufuor has his flaws. Maybe 1 year when he was in power, but in terms of all oh, what? President Kufuor the cover Greedco buy, and the reason the rationale behind Greedco, that is why NDC advised a Pamu Greedco director and your cock and boo story, another fake, another small screen, another Azan cosmetics, just to cover up the actual issue. What is Greedco's issue with Kanani Dumsor? Because Greedco generative, VRA and a generative. If you have an issue with Greedco, a generation, why are you attacking? Why are you sacking the Greedco boss? Why are you sacking the Greedco boss? Another fake move. Oh, sacking Greedco boss, senseless for what? Greedco generative, VRA for a generative. Now the Kanani Nama Greedco, who is the middleman between the VRA and the ECG, because ECG for the distributed Kanani by a fee any day. Into a moment lines na dada. Greedco for in charge of transmission lines like a circus, normally above ECG. And the entire Labour President Kufuor was who young something or tea Greedco. because first na pressure ni nyina go VRA any ECG no mo hu na adwuma ne so and no mo yes okay yem fa grid ko no be say anymore so that ECG for san how mo ho say ye ko manage distribution we asan ba manage transmission and ye say adwuma ne ye de ma friends say grid ko and grid ko buy under President Kufuor, even under Professor Mills, Gridco was one of the most successful government institutions and no Mondeka. Very well run. That is why I'm not buying this. I'm buying cock and bull story. Say Asaki Gridco boss. They just want to get a sacrificial lamb. No more sacrifice papa no. Many papa can be fighting back, but why wouldn't Ghana government? We are so fighting back. Be passing because that's at also. Near my Yoko for Abe Jojo every day. Be a Yoko every just to disgrace you and don't forget your mom. But the issue of sacking a Gridco boss near a cock and bull story, Gridco is not responsible for this Dumsor. The issue is between VRA for monomy generating. We have generational issues. Yesika and Son, we have generational issues. We have not invested properly in the advanced generation, and we have not managed the generation capacity. The issues about generation capacity I am managing over the years. From time I'm a journalist the issue of Ghana electricity has been generational capacity and distribution efficiency. ECG for I know you're not make say ECG issue does not affect Dumsor. Omo kanya no ne omo maintenance. One him data no ho no ma say ECG for cables no fire data from 1960s. And at the time under President Kufuor and Professor Mills, they tried to change some of the cables. So they've changed to abai biaba na kwa investment to change that no to change my transmission lines they friends saying distribution lines. You don't go and sack the boss. You don't go and sack the boss on no why. You change the lines now better you know. You change the lines now better you know. It is alcohol can boost oil in fact. Yentie because you na make us ye dey need ho. Omo me yankola no be fast ye dey need ho in fact. Abai must fix the issue. But Abai must focus on not politicizing this issue. When ye issue a politics, in fact, say Abai himself before be ministry they should call them no dealing with the issue. This is not about politics, it's about national development and national growth. Because this Dumsor is threatening NDC Nankasa flagship program, which is a 24-hour economy. So Dumsor way is affecting NDC Nankasa, is threatening NDC Nankasa 24-hour economy. So it's not the time I bear politics. Don't come and tell anybody story. They sacrifice Gridco boss. They sacking. They won't take blame. And if Gridco boss na hear the problem, I don't know man shut down for details. What crime has he committed? What offense? What has been his negligence? What has been the corporate governance issues are breaching performance indication? Chest and also ye way no anye way. What buy nankasa na oba we took inventory. Ebiani ministry nankasa oba ya cable segu habo. Mosi ayira ye koshe na de no habo. Another cock and bull story. Ministry of Energy, you must sit up. You must sit up. And you say they be a mobile coconut story just to cover things up. For what? Coconut story just to cover things up. Mobile yes, sir. Containers ayira wo ECG. Na wo habo. And obi afa. Misu minim habo. Ye wo me wotema minim tema. At the back of my hand, there's no corner of the harbor that I don't know. There's no way a container is making a free a harbor ho. Abra obi nim. Na harbor nankasa security ya obe femu ye be 1,000. All cameras all over. It's either na containers ECG containers to me from. Ye share na de no ho. Na de nankasa wo ECG e wo harbor ho a. Eso na nka mo ba be dada na nka nkofo afa echira kwa kofa containers na koton adi. Na nka nkofo afa echira koton containers na di. Inti government wonya study. The and coconut story is not also. You need to sit up and actually fix Ghana systems, no, any economy. No, we are not joking about Ghana issues. No, it is in the interest of Obi or MPP. Nikra wants to see say NDC are best succeeding. Obi or NDC needs to cry. Or no class or more a year or NDC as succeeding. No one be no they can say yes. Not buying as succeeding. This is not the time for yen dink of what them opponent to your Beckham Dumsor and yen coding at them yen ko yen. Tisa Abranti ya wa try Dumsor video. Man who said this week so my nama and I'm so welcome to the club. You man understand it. But if you know said the all can you correct her, why not?
Just to get the begin. Hey, Dumsor Shastia, I think you better do na Kasiamba. Amamo, can you do Gani and Asaso? Hey, can you do Gani and Asaso? Electricity, power, electricity, power.
It's a brand away there. Me so or better. The way on me no. And got you no.
Mambo, just to get the beginning. Hey, Dumsor Shastia, I feel never doing a Cassiamba. Mambo, can you do Gani and Assassin? Hey, can you do Gani and Assassin? Electricity, power, electricity, power. Can you do Gani and Assassin?
Boy, when this will be a coffin way, or no, a comedian, near more yearny, or you know, a comedian. So he's not a politician. 2 years NDC now attack boy where you'll be doing a disservice to yourself. Or no, I do or no a comedy keke or your comedy. Into Dumsor assembly there, you focus on it say a national issue. No more BND be at them, but government knows why I dare say what you mean higher timetable. Because at least no. But you see the thing that they be a say, some of the things are and my NDC for be feeling justified. They say also more young about Dumsor. Yeah, because see Napo Echo can't say. On my timetable biano the way I yen two ya no good na poso so on my timetable but you see am yes NDC for feeling entitled to say the betimi do obi atem say mo the same NDC for mo ye na pono the same NDC for no di na po atem no they are the same people who are insulting people for complaining about Dumsor. Double standards and hypocrisy mo de mo obi anka masem but na po de obi nka na asem so we fail at Dumsor. Let's move on and go another issue. So, but then I mean, this President Mahama move with rejected America for $190 million dollars for data. Almost iska. Na data na sika na omude magana no. Omo Ghana so health data na Ghana sino. That is a good move by government. This one is a solid move by government. You know there. You better buy so any day, anytime. Because what Ghana for home? No what Ghana for data home? Because every day, I don't trust Ghana database. Because Ghana I shut down share data so ye. But for government to have the boldness and to have the balls to stand up to no means a person but President Trump. Any America buy say mo $109 million so farmer there we don't care, we don't need your money. You fire data be mom. That one is a solid move by that NDC buying. I know the NDC buying idea to reject this move. And this is how we want the African countries to be bold to fight against Western oppression and Western neo-colonialism because data. Oh, you can't say my data. Now they also obey my yesika, my data. Nina boils down to one thing. So Africa for yenya kukudro. Na Ghana sika ye woya ye nanado kasi yetiskaso. As come and truly yetiskaso. Ghana no yetiskaso. Kaya na Chinese if one for you every baby Ghana no be to Galamsey. Yet then and obia sorry enough from north besi akra too. Gold is a Ghana baby. This is why we were known as the Gold Coast. Na say yesika na ye hweso ye. Yeah, resources ni protecting one. And ya the America for benya the boss, the effrontery. I got that say the nest. Omunya the effrontery to come and tell Ghana say, Mama ye mu data. Na ye mamusika. $109 million is coming. Ghana and can you check estimated gold that. But omiamu status are gold gold reserves or Motogu Bank of Ghana. And then your politics unnecessary in your day. And the NDC buy or my ton 19 tons. And that say the gold and Ghana you will gold more than $109 million in America for you. You will gold more than $109 million. You want more gold the chain $109 million. But because most African countries, Ghana, DR Congo here, uranium you to DR Congo is enough to develop any Western country. Even to Dubai for Nenya side DR Congo for uranium now and come but abronti abrofo no beka ko shed na no starting tokwa so that on be fetch no match at the come chrome. This idea way a decision na NDC abaye taking on behalf of the people of Ghana. We salute them and we commend them. We give them commendation, kudos. We congratulate them for taking this bold move because yes, America for say Ghana no mukuta. Me say oko US State Department for report on Ghana. You be shocked say what kind as a Ghana. They have all the data in Ghana. They have all the data and so their account. So it is good to buy denial on this one. But I hope say this is not a denial on the face. This is not a cosmetic denial. Because I told they be a politicians anymore Ghana. No be say, but no matter actually near the data na san command for. I was never in favor of Kelly GVG for handling Ghana data. In fact, there was this lawyer after the case no court time he COVID time no because social distancing government issued a executive order for access to Ghana data. Oh, you see your data in Kenny GVG for. I mean, what Kenny GVG, you know, it's a South African company, but okuta Ghana data. Kenny GVG because on why no middleman between yen any telcos no ntino okuta Ghana data nyina. Because by Sir President Kufuado say executive order no the man for social distancing, any tracking of obia movement under COVID time no. Say we data no a link to o number o. Ni nyina nkofo no kuta. Enti I no Kelvin GVG for which is a South African company. E dey na dey data more. Na no ye NDC buy na o maka health data. Na say o Ghana company bi o Atlanta. E dey na Ghana data. Ye dey ma obi a oti Atlanta. Me what Togo data crowd yen kwadia omo fa ma yen. Until that's why I'm commending NDC for denying America for this asset because omunya data we are look ya dani and nine it's a see and yen say a big deal, but this is a very big deal. Yen say data a big deal, a big deal. Because Obi say that in AI generation way, data is the gold, is the new gold. Data is the new gold. And it will be kuta data not the man another country, another sovereign country. Then you are not a sovereign anymore. Sagana the data na America na chese nke ye sovereign bi ye mate for America nka de omo de ayi Maduro ya akwache no Venezuela nka da kweto ombetimi aye because they have our data. The omo ti America na they will know everything that is going on obo wa kromunim. So Ghana has made a very bold decision not to give this information to them. What I say, and that is why I'm proud of na Ghana aye no ti wo de wo ye papa ye beka wo ye bone so I will fire you no biabi. Nti won say ye moving to another issue so no ye NDC. On say NDC the issue about President Mahama okwa when they be di na de and it's a very concerning issue. Now what to me who say Julius Debra any I say don't get ya omo no take lead no they are in a comfortable lead in the campaign atu force in the workers wada maybe wada so or ye moves underground but obekas wada and now share Haruna Driso there on when him say presidential flag bearership no and come man this time round because on also free north President Mahama free north and ya dey north back to back it's not very likely into ono what choke ono the target near running mate. And yes, sir, on over 2032. What I say 2032? No, about the presidential move. Because I used to fairly no, we did 50 years, but fairly no, you're young, still, or age on the side. 2032, still original. But they say don't get on your old politician, experienced politician, aparachiki, NDC mono. Sani so called thank you to on say don't get here, and then thank you to a campaign or ye. Oh, we are start. Na nunti na esi educate ade no enkofo no so omuso say no esi educate move now or ye thank you to na de ne ko. Wo de hwe esi educate all chances or ne thank you to na. Why it is ono na all associated with the grassroots no. Odwene omo ho. On de odwene omo ho. Nti obi onye hwe. Ade ande ya nkase ye bema obi a yi ni bi. Ye che ne kakra ka ma na so obi aso. Obi a benya ne de. Sansem na esi educate aka ne nyina nye kwa. It is or your senior politician to Okasa. Don't take it for granted. So Okasa in terms of the fact so pursue coolly foot soldiers no grassroots for not grassroots running in a banner side, and he's doing well. So for say don't get is doing 20. The other people no comes to say Julius Debra camp. Any a year friend saying at force and camp. Any other people are interested in replacing President Mahama no. Omo make it a move. Security Concerns Force NDC chairman is saying to suspend Northeast. Now got your better now, baby asa. So for say what campaign will be effective. They have to stop him, and that's why they've done this. And yet normal security or one creating security problem no for he said because they will not allow him to continue. Make me allow. I didn't competition here and competition a more thing. Certain President Mahama Kasa is conflicted on who they want supporting no. Because Julius Debra no here ni chocho mutu. And if you look at this weekend, baby Julius Debra ko soon here with Pentecost, bra o di ni birthday na. Ni nyina sooner Julius Debra soon na nye soon kwa. Me Julius Debra me ya kan me ba no nko ne ma me di poku ya. And also I me bra pani me feeling style baby. If it comes to support anybody in NDC, he will be the first person I will support. if omo ko presidential na Julius Debra dimu a me sign Julius Debra won ko support obia me Julius Debra oye minim no pa, and he's a very good charismatic person, very noble, and also no baby our fan character ni dimi na ni na political career and our President Kufuor, President Mahama mo line ni bi very calm, very cool and collected, but very very strategic. Who did Julius Debra one? That's why I'm telling you, the sooner Julius Debra goes soon, you soon kwa. On him say any birthday, look at the massive whole show around the birthday, you know. It was a political move because they say don't get ya no or ground, no. A kotia Julius Debra. It's also no so many say no, challenge me to a day ground. Into when watch na a kotia ne chirpone kakra bi. So Julius Debra so person say don't get ya say yeah, me so what the hell weekending Julius Debra was on top in terms of news, in terms of visibility. He was seen. President Mahama and Kasa, the way he the testimony that President Mahama gave about Julius Debra. And nothing I'm a true to Facebook say Mami Uzina or Kata say a Pentecost elder. One say the Julius Debra ye crack ya or no Kasa. Now Julius Debra no ni Mahama ye campaign 24/7 no kwa Pentecost ni. Or no ni elder any ye apostle nyameche. Now uka ko di ni elder atem. Now NDC and Kasa nim say to fight against Church of Pentecost they will be finished if they fight against Church of Pentecost. NDC and Kasa is aware. Any attempt to attack Apostle Nyameche, NDC will be finished. Because Papa no, and Pentecost could have about 4 million members. Now, NDC ni MPP come me or win I check the total vote or the winning. Check the total number of votes. And 6 million. I think the last election you can call about 6 million. I'll look for the numbers and let you know. And 6 million. And it will be disastrous for NDC to go and fight with Apostle Nyameche. That's why Julius Debra muko kuli papa na bekas ono or the mamene boni ache no cry. They had to go and see the man to beg. And Julius Debra no what ambition to become the next president to be replacing President Mahama. O kaso ono onya na say Apostle Nyameche de ne sato so. No ka say Pentecost wo nyina ye nipa nie ye nua Pentecost ni nie o president dey amuko post vote Julius Debra. Hey, wo mame uzino mame we onye calculation ye. So our PhD, I don't think any PhD statistics and maybe analysis. Well, I need a calculation here. Because if she did her calculation well, and I wouldn't say one cast chief of staff, and for that matter, NDC for penny for bring Pentecost of war, you will not play with Pentecost. If it's NDC for no crying Pentecost, so I don't play with Pentecost. Now, President Mahama crying, sorry, a church or assemblies of God, come members, it's a Pentecost crying. President Mahama is not playing with assemblies of God. Because assemblies of God for crap, President Mahama to say Koshia. No, they don't only pray for him, but they urge their members to vote for him because assemblies of God. Now you are going to play with Church of Pentecost. Are you kidding? We are Kolana, Mami Wepa. You are going to play with Church of Pentecost. Instead of not Julius Debra was a Mami, we were saying on Julius Debra ambition. Was say Julius Debra Jumano, because Julius Debra, one of the key constituencies are Julius Debra, and you just Eastern region, because Julius Debra for Eastern region. In Tanya, you call him saying home region, the Umbetuamano, plus Church of Pentecost. Julius Debra himself in 2 key constituencies. He's taken to 2028 elections as somebody who can replace President Mahama, Church of Pentecost and Eastern region. So Biabe failing and not these two people, these two constituencies. Church of Pentecost as a constituency on its own. And the whole region of Eastern region, because of Eastern region, if you call only passe, you don't play with him. Into Papa Nankasa was a mamena sending agenda. And was some NDC popularity rating and start dropping. I don't want to say me Captain Smart to crack catcher NDC for say President Mahama. One man approval ratings they drop it. Because what they are grown out so betty and colana one form now, or more did atem now. Or more did atem yet, the campaign to come to power. But over power, we are in fact them didn't govern because a different strategy. As our copper bano. We are a different strategy. Now you are managing the relationship because when you're there, but you have to manage to please the person. Manage the person's emotion, manage the person's wants, manage the person's needs. Now they move away your power. Never me Ghana power credit transit 4 years pay. 4 years pay. No answer and you are insulting Church of, you are attacking Church of Pentecost elder because of Abeka say Dumsor. Are you serious? As no one Ghana any. Would your moja will change Apostle Nyameche? we nipa chan Apostle Nyameche. Papa no to their child, but ye dey fan child. We are nobody, but we have a right to forgive or not to forgive. Don't and I mean, they got to Facebook and say, who are you? Now, I'm me. I'm an ordinary Ghanaian. Or they are child, yeah, they have fan child. Forget me, me Pentecost, but I'm invested in Assemno. Because it's high time also calling for out for doing and useless. One man, what bank cranking in Boneo. And I was expecting President Mahama saying, beyond Papa Nicho or their chairman, suspend the Mamino. So what they won't sack and suspend no. No, got 3 months without pay. No, Shan Yansan was a politics, no, Yan Yansam, Yan Okro mouth. Sabin Yabi Biana was okay. When you are government appointee, you are not a communicator anymore. So the way you communicate and put some government appointee, no free zones, you market what. And by now, President Mahama 24-hour economy must start as free zones. Minimajuma land chairman of free zones commission when he was Minister of Trade. Solid work, garment and textiles factories. Land chairman do mobile Ghana. Uti free zones. A whole free zones bond that sits in Tema. Major part of free zones no Tema. There can no other places. Accra there, but the major part of free zones no sits in Tema. What have you done with free zones? What have you used the free zones to know as a platform to catapult 24-hour economy? Now, President Mahama being at his next State of the Nation address, a free zones to know you to me achieve A, B, C, D. Garments and textiles factories now. What China? I'm on garments and textiles. They are creating 1 million jobs. And free zones enclave or tema. Ye provide more electricity in free zones enclave or tema 24/7 to 1 hour. Apostle Nyameche. Shame on you, beautiful woman. But wisdom no akakakra. You didn't have to comment. You didn't have to comment because obia beka Galamsey asem ye bedi na tema. Imagine what you people said. Imagine what you people said under Ekufuado Galamsey. Imagine what you people said. Ekufuado obia fire no maybe can ye fire no. Ekufuado Galamsey no you are not doing it. And Crawford wa bem and no NDC for bebre. Who said that MPP for Nankasa ye Galamsey for, including the Kufuado promoter again, so a chief Galamsey ya. Mary Uzi antis will be a bedi Kufuado atemo. But what ye, Apostle Nyameche generally or can't one sorry as some say yesuro. See a babon crofo to crowds, yea, Mamma no descending the gutter. What do you mean? What do you nipa by Apostle Nyameche or descending the gutter will also descend? Are you kidding me? Utipani Apostle Nyameche so descending the gutter? Hey! Now, Papa, baby, or Tian go bedroom. Also, chief of staff for creation. Chief of staff koto Apostle Nyameche and Nancy to beg him for forgiveness. Oh, Suma to beg him for forgiveness. Who yeah, reserve team member no. Who your first selection, second selection, so yes, the second selection. What's a bench reserve? Who now kodi Papa natem? Now say Apostle Nyameche now a good person to know so the action no so or pushing out sorry for you. That is why method is pastor bako so for bako kaso be and slow bia and nobody can shut anybody up. Unye nipa nchen obi one on 2 hours for talking obi so there is for talking and obi kasa you have no right to come and attack the person. You have no right. Missy Okufuado asem ye kan Galamsey asem kan kasem MPP for Galamsey time excavators near in MPP for then excavators we question them because it was our right to question MPP. Ntina ma miracle aboaji asem me be fire no. Me be fire miracle aboaji say or say the next MPP government in the next few days or top officials or we involved in Galamsey. I think we're needless. Miracle aboaji what you chungu free home. You don't need to go on this tangent. Needless. Because a wooden list of so-called Abayan for Omia Galamsey, MPP for time, you know. And then I want to find the same list of Abayan for Omia Galamsey Swamba. And maybe I got there drew Galamsey issue. It's not about when they be stop all Galamsey. Because you say NDC for any MPP for your microphone. In fact, NDC by Erastus Asari don't call report baby Awaye shows NDC chairman for stopping Galamsey committee from working. It is the fact that NDC won't go for be here, Galamsey. We know. Some politicians no monomon crop for more power. And then NDC by here. So how blue water gas na minister of natural resources go and I don't know to be near. From day one, I'm the catch him says I minister blue water gas no in a bogus and Gosiaga. Now soldier for cry you come Major Mahama because of Galamsey home. You come Major Mahama. So they knew could take your crown to me. People attacked him and finished him off because of Galamsey. ade a NDC aban starting under Professor Mills and a President Mahama beto aso make operation Vanguard President Mahama e dey papa ya wa free mu friends Samuel Sapon Ashanti Regional Mayor papa no Samuel Sapon na down operation Vanguard Mahama ntumi anye and odi free so 2016 Akufo-Addo ba 8 years when ntumi solve Galamsey also his members started joining it and also started to issue licenses NDC for by NDC for nkofo bebre so akoguma omuye. In fact, I have even said say Sami Jemfiase no mukogu no na ye Galamsey related and yet just simple armed robbery. I said it here. And na me edge police from so mun shada fanka investigation ho in omuji caution statement no ne statement no from nkofo no mun busa omude so the investigation should go beyond just robbery. Na robbery keke. Galamsey related too. So what I say? Enuti se miracle aboje be kase ne e na obebu bodin I think that it will not serve us any purpose. It will because I mean yenim say NDC aban sampa say omunkrofobia Galamsey they are not going to prosecute the people. Because now any news because NDC ankasa ko a campaign omo ka che so omo de omba obi abedidi peche. Several videos of Kokubu telling Crawford Galamsey for omo ko Galamsey site omo se ye ba ye be mama ye. We will regularize any amount too. And the NDC for doing Galamsey no any news or they are doing it. And yet something that is even debatable. NDC people also doing the Galamsey. And NDC and NPP both are joining hands to destroy this nation because of Bia Bamba, Ninkropo Peso Didi. And NDC for Moya Galamsey. And yes, sir, Nano ya President Mahama ba ya no Moya Galamsey ni biu. Dada President Mahama 2016 and NDC for be were involved in Galamsey. When you limit the issue to we must buy normal licenses say and we must buy normal licenses say people are doing Galamsey without licenses because of course mining without licenses and no na proper Galamsey or more licenses near small scale mining. And what only happened under President Akufo-Addo time was just to transition some of the people who are doing Galamsey and issue them licenses. They were doing it. And to Kwakubo and we are campaign no mukoka so ye dey buy e be mamu ye be regularize no akako to no enye news. Any news on the man to any news. They told them some man to and to save your energy, not build the Momo MPP. That's where your homework should go. Momo MPP now say the base for to a team, say the base for to a team, someone so shaping money you. Parliament now, are you giving Parliament the proper support? That is where your job should go to. Now, only Abema Kofitonto cast NDC for a degree in the optics. Omo de say optics no near my yemi and share and omo very good in it. Yeah. Melako about just now we are in charge of the saying communication. This is the time also group on crowdfunding to say they are not JHMS and more parliament, no more managing parliament. You had a shadow friends and minister for every department. Let's chase the NDC for them more run for their money. This job no it's not miracle about your this one and if you had a proper friends and committee on minds and energy, minority caucus no, that's their job. That's their job. Because someone sector more sector no information. Into miracle about use your energy properly. From energy no kokwaya mbefa so mbeya proper unity because that people na wo and united sir. Say hope sin ado ejina sideline so bomb style BAB. Into use that energy as a litmus, as a glue to glue my party together because there are cracks in MPP. Building on a jai say NDC for Moya Galamsey for what do you mean no nyagi? Because it will not serve us any purpose. You name so Moya Galamsey ni be anyway. Moya Galamsey ni be. And I'll body in Kwanya dia Attorney General obechi on chiomo. NDC for crowd cases work out. Attorney General by we filing knowledge prosecute stopping cases in Kosiaga. It will give you maybe political advantage in terms of narrative no best safety. But there are more interesting issues that you must focus on. Most starting, but minority caucus now parliament must focus on asking the ministry, resources, natural resources ministry, the blue water gas. How much are we spending to pay them? So far, the blue water gas na jumana he and akwakodu because the so-called blue water gas na jumana ye effective. And can you say post Pentecost apostle nyame cheka se nsuo no krania say. Let's just say blue water gas na mutie useless. Miracle aboje mo energy no should go there. Mo energy no should go there. Blue water gas ni ye aduma and Kenya ni apostle nyame che say ye nsuo mpo ni abonkofo suwom Blue water gas is completely useless. You just job for the boys. Yempe party boys yen for munkogum. Soldier for cry bre. I'm a soldier for cry ya for muso munkoye 9 months. Omunkra say Galamsey is a national disaster. Soldiers know. Now I cover blue water gas. Not a Pentecost elder name say blue water gas. Your moduma ndru baby ya. Intuition said the TNS is even getting worse. Yes, you encoding at them. TikTok abiko kan is encoding at them. Blog abiko kan is encoding at them. And everybody Ghana for 33 million Ghana, everybody them because nobody ain't stopping. We ain't stopping talking about it because Ghana for perhaps we even pay more taxes than you. So we are not going to stop talking. And insult say insult in opposition, the kind of NDC sponsored NDC. And I'm not afraid to say it. In Akufo-Addo time, 28 years of Akufo-Addo are buying. The NDC sponsored NDC. Lord. It will be nice a miracle about your father on to ye be no. But you see, they be am catching people for some more ye can about one amoka say mo party ni your latest party. One amode mo tradition me buy. Mo tradition mo to me home fam home to NDC for. Into the yastic no susu dia na susu no will always be higher. Because a party that was started by people like JH Mins and many others, okay, say also by the sponsor for so munko didi atama ye church munko for ya or munko ka say Mahama ye LGBT. I mean, you people should know better and advise your people better. Say more some ye intellectual discourse. And yet Mahama ye LGBT na Mahama no obi oni Mahama dada de bi anim say Mahama no LGBT nye ne lie. And if you go and na Mahama, that's bogus. Mama LGBT don't know pay. Now she dey mama your first lady Lord na mama said your tear. Woman with enough body goose near the original na so solid fair. Obi beja we one man kokas we Ghana. Ma'am for Mahama obi describing Mahama with LGBT will be wrong. But it is legitimate to say obi be busa President Mahama say oba na will say you are not for LGBT. I will say Akufo-Addo they don't have the political will to sign the LGBT no. LGBT bill no has been there. You are passing into law by all members of parliament and the Akufo-Addo move free honum. You see, and people saying that Akufo-Addo should have signed. The case was in court. I don't know Ghana for IMPC ebesian there, sir. I don't know IMPC ebeko school. You be ready kakrasa. Akufo-Addo could not sign the LGBT law because Rachel Sky or CTFM or say a lawyer. Rachel Sky has sent the case to court. Another Supreme law lecturer so has taken the matter to court to the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court you cannot do anything about it until the Supreme Court finishes with the case. So the issue was at the Supreme Court. Akufo-Addo don't sign it. You move focusing on issues on the here and sana my dear fata. So far the Dumsor ya abeya and NDC is in a comfortable lead. Dumsor we are and NDC is in a comfortable lead in terms of governance. A Juma the NDC for they are in a comfortable lead. But Dumsor and they expose you more. 24-hour economy no so expose you more. In terms of also ability to also negotiate with people and also expose you more. And then sourcing expose you more. Because NDC, then things they said about the Akufo-Addo in the bush for, and rightfully so. Because you know to Akufo-Addo for time now, you know, Akufo-Addo bush for, but say President Akufo-Addo yesterday. If a President Akufo-Addo and Bayer man creative arts sector, all these people, Akufo-Addo did not need to give them appointments. That's why you see me what issue with Gabi Asaro-Chidako crowd forever respect Gabi Asaro-Chidako for refusing to take any appointment. For refusing to take any appointment, although no BN said Gabi was a shadow prime minister, but he refused to take an official appointment. Unlike Nina Kenofoyata, who took the finance ministry, and then where he landed the finance ministry, which was some. And then he is fighting because he decided to take a job that he didn't have to. Which to data bank. MPP, they were not lacking of first the finance people. I could say it's a UN consultant could have adequately done that job. He did that job under President Kufuor and he could have done it. Could have splendidly done the job. But there be one of the sins of Akufo-Addo no. These things are running. I know, say now people also say they know Akufo-Addo has been vindicated, a lot of the things, but we can't say that without saying that there were also mistakes under Akufo-Addo buying. But see, Akufo-Addo has been vindicated in terms of economy. No, now we are in a World Bank for kind. No, so President Mahama acknowledges Akufo-Addo mo economy ni ye. You see, there are some things. What the year politics? I mean, see, this or more imagine year coins. low IQ for no. They allowed the blogger you or America to insult everybody because the facts are there. If you want to read the facts are clear. And the data, how they don't trust Ghana data, go to World Bank. And the World Bank data will show you, say, between 2017 2018, the economy was doing fantastic until COVID by. But to be fair, under that time, we were under IMF. We were under IMF. So granted, it's yema and it starts with more opposition. Opposition when I was shaping a bind how a bind will go. So opposition when it if your objective is solid, when it check your bind, you can direct a bind accordingly. Nti miracle abajinye de ehie sa name na obe name na ma infected Dumsor no. Focus on what is happening now. Dumsor issues Galamsey ni ade ba na. Mom pushing na mom government pressure now on dealing with the issue, not solving Galamsey no. Because it's not enough. See, I say a fan on normal. So NDC for yebi, MPP for so ye Galamsey ni biti a fan normal. But the government, the people of Ghana ni ebre. People are reporting skin diseases, other infections. For the Galamsey bro. Now we allow NDC and MPP to do politics with it. Because of those frivolous promises. And then the party for Galamsey problem to the extent the air can rivers near the Ananke home for Galamsey. It is now affecting them. A Pentecostal for Coca say miracle opposition. You have a voice, but you have pressure. America opposition for Donald Trump or move forces and politics be from America and the UK. Do the politics like Omoya no. Now you pushy government, na government Juman serving the people of Ghana. Now the way Ghana kono, it's not the best. It's not the best. You koye ni one step ni abaye chi two steps. You koye ni one step ni abaye chi two steps. You koye ni one step ni abaye chi two steps. What are we doing for the people of Ghana? What are we doing for the people of Ghana? We can't continue to do that. The piano man say now you buy so the people of Ghana will have their say. But yeah, to me go see kasa man will have their way. This is the preliminary way, point by point. Pani de bro. Inti Abrantie when he first to comment or so I'm happy. You are happy for the Dumsor to be back. Me America. Inti Dumsor it won't affect me really. They affect me bush for. And my dad Dumsor here west, so I'm not happy Dumsor is back. I'm not happy Dumsor is back. Now only my businesses are Dumsor affect you. Oh no, they so could you any trap you know what dance you don't care about Dumsor. But me why you want interest in business ni ade no. Dumsor ababaka enye ye do. Dumsor ababaka enye ye de. What dey amontina honum. O say I am presidented Dumsor. Well, this is not unprecedented though. This kind of Dumsor when you are unprecedented. Because sister say no one is happy for Dumsor. But it's simple that John Mahama is back. Well, John Mahama is back, mom dear. So if Dumsor is coming back there, and it's also very instructive, say, President Mahama time. You see, but it's also good to understand and state the fact very clear, say, and yet President Mahama and Dumsor started with Ghana. Dumsor started under President Kufuor. In fact, a campaign typically, President Rawlings AFRC time, you know. Sometimes in the Dumsor. But under multi-party democracy, Ghana, Fourth Republic, the Dumsor started Kufuor time. Kufuor time, President Kufuor time. Dumsor Bayama, President Kufuor Kofa, strategic reserve plan through a friend saying, Tarzan, Kokubobe Kofa, machines, the basic tema. Tamara refinery, 200 money friend, a strategic reserve plant. The issue was to generate alternative power for Ghana. To Dumsor Kufuor time, they started Mahama. But Mahama time now, Dumsor Mubaya ding. Because Kufuor and Kufuor time, because to me so any kakra no Kufuor koye no NDC for samba biem no we didn't even see that much because under Atamos but Atamos be ko obe wu oni mono any Atamos wu ye na china transition to President Mahama na Dumsor ni yineti mo 2013 2014 2015 na esan ye kese. So when you said that Mahama back into Dumsor babaka, let's state the fact very clear. It was there before Mahama came. Truth is say Mary Uzi is right, but she apologized because she used her number 6. Kufuor gave the leader of the Church of Pentecost Pacho truth. Don't come here and come and belittle somebody's father. What I say? Don't come here, man. Come and do a uni a year. Kufuor gave. Okay, I say Apostle Nyameche to ono oniskana. Uka say oya kwala ti say papa na. Uka say oya dry ti say papa. Ah, you don't me mun din kwala asem wo ha say. Apostle Nyameche to no abobra. Sika bi enu papa ni nya bi no akwaje ekufu adusika. What nonsense is that? Respect to whom? What you say? I'll say, how can I join Toronto, Canada? Okay, Bernardo, if I saw join, maybe I'll give you the link. But time that's because and then now say 1 hour pay. I'll say because if you are 24-hour economy needed, is dead on arrival. Well, there's still more time. President Mahama will 1.5 years pay over 4 years. Until there's still time. So person ye na juma obetimi aye at least enye ni nyina akra no obetimi give you something to represent 24-hour economy. No. Steven say, oh no, Dumsor again. Yep, Dumsor is back. Obi say Mahama for third term. Well, constitution, no, Mahama third term be any constitution idea, Juma. And your preference. What you say? I say, do you know the job more than Masa? Me tell it. Oh, ni Juma no amen. But yes, I be attack you. Be what be attack you? Be papa that without any evidence. And it's legal wife for no court. Don't come here, come and do papa atem. What I say, I say, do we even have a database in Ghana? Anyways, if the USA wants to capture GM like Maduro, they can do it in seconds. Well, yeah, in Ghana, Ghana, the people of Ghana, no, now America can capture Mahama like Maduro. It will never happen, and America is aware of it. Ghana may be a small country. But young countries are America, Trump, no matter how powerful Trump is, on to me sorry so befa no ya de now pa Ghana no yeah small country, but we Nigeria for crown nim say Ghana a small country, but we are a mighty nation. The fact say NDC ni MPP politics nkata ye ni say we will sit down for America to come and undermine our sovereignty as a nation and capture our president. Allah. And America na ko be born in Sama Ghana. And on you try or be born in Sama Ghana. America can be the most powerful country, but Ghana so yenyen kolasa. We have our might in our own. Nigeria for credit dance say Ghana enye children sir. Oti ase ha. Akwesa for maka message no mo bi sombra. Albert Opon say, can you imagine Mr. Sedum Ketia as the president of Ghana? Democracy is not good for Africa crowd. Well, I can imagine. And there's nothing wrong with the Sedum Ketia being the president of Ghana because he had the brain and he had the governor my body. He had the brain and he had the governor my body. And he men dismiss Sedum Ketia because of also could have small body. He may not have the personality of president, but if he has the brain, why not? Would it's not the day I go President Mahama, President Rollins by time at AFRC time, President Rollins be you kuno. President Rollins near the nature of crank be our cast onje. None Rollins chain. Ni come you a year friends and numpe. Or your panier. The same Ketia crowd body chain President Rollins when he was Chairman Rollins. When he was Chairman Rollins. No, but obey leader of Ghana. So why can't they say don't get to be president of Ghana? Man, fa body who underestimate you, be a papa or hanum sa. What I say, obviously, people are saying Mr. is not fit for the purpose because he cries easily. Okay, almost say obviously Julia Debra and Comfort Castle is not fit for purpose because as a year friend say Osun dear. Yeah, Ghana honey say member money ye. If you're a man and you want to cry. We don't define somebody's competence by tears. It's more so say anybody is genuine. Bankruptcy already has or acting, maybe or acting. Politicians are more active 24/7. But can he do the job? That's where I'm more interested in. Truth he cried. They be about speculation. Who the evidence? Or if when talking about presidential candidate, talk about the one who will give us better Ghana. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. Dumsor mankwa or say but a friend say but their dog in America is still doing the okay. I don't know about any dog in America there. Okay, Mami Fa Branty way. So say when has Barry Ewuzi achieved in free zones? Well, that's a very good question. As a Ghanaian, no, you have every right to ask that question. Say, "Ma, many buy ding and why?" I go say, "Hey, 1 million jobs if you pa well." Mary Ewuzi force here. Free zones no bet me a boy creating 1 million jobs easily. Or force here, obet me creating 1 million jobs easily. Okay. True to know the other person attack Apostle Nyameche, and I will never allow my platform to be used to attack Obi Papa. What you say? Apostle Nyameche on your politician. Obi a politician put now attacking it. I will say that we're assuming that's a risk. say in entering into politics of insult no Ghana for the a politics ye didi atem what I say into no munjai de mo ye no into no a dollar also John Mahama is incompetent too much well and the owner who can was him dollar the yakosichum was say if you unless some chiefs and local police MCs any assemblymen are sacked Galamsey will never stop. When NIMOs are going to operation, someone will call them to inform them, say, Munjawe, no ne ekum, Galamsey ne manti president, Mama, by no end to me and fighting, or not only the other. Freddie Tay say, have you forgotten second day Japan, Komo Mudi, atem no one, well, and you know the atem, on one so patcho, but on one him say, Obia will admit the politics of means on yes, almost count, but I'm speaking in context. What you say, I was to my baby, I was to send a message. Or see if you this time Galamsey is so organized. Say some assemblies no have been paid in a month. Well, I think that mean Papa Kromu for cry DC no kahwa or Gigi or Musika 30,000. I think Joy News expose cry confirmed that Gigi or Musika and no more yes sir. But you see, we should not endorse Galamsey under any circumstance. At the end, say a coin. Me Papa Kromu for ya make a Mansia Central. Any dance hono me or mojiti it's sad to say if you go there adwuma bia ni ho. In fact Amansia Central crowd 1 kilometer of quota crani ho and the whole MC say if you are jijisika from Nkrofo from Galamsey people to encourage Galamsey that's a shame. Say district now utim no quota ba ko crani ho no it is sika na o for what for what Joseph or say if you we told Ghanaians before the elections NDC bag Galamsey ni beba eno na ye hu yo eno na ye hu Nicholas say how can you say this is only Dumsor that is making this government unpopular? What makes you think that cocoa farmers, nurses, teachers ni ade well I know they me view also bet me do they about say all these issues no so my government are here unpopular. Yes, don't assume that I will speak your mind because I have my mind and you have my mind too. Akwesichum I kind message you Marco my kind of messages way Albert upon us Dumsor actually started in 1999 under JJ. Well, I've said that already. When we've read a lot of history too. But Trini say even before Dumsor, nurses, teachers, farmers have been crying plus high electricity. Ghana for okay or patch say President Mahama no almost popularity rate is in from cry before Dumsor. Because nurses ni ade ni cocoa farmers na temi nyina no rather expose aban no cry even before cry Dumsor bem. Fair comment, very very fair comment. Why? I hear you. It's a very fair comment also. Ede ba say nye gala Dumsor no kwa na ema Mahama aban unpopular but niema bebre ama Mahama aban no unpopular. Kwesi Kuma Junior say sovereignty of Ghana cannot even pay their own employed youth. You are talking about sovereignty of Ghana. If you are men, don't get it twisted. America person beche Ghana, beche Ghana, what in Ghana to be near because Ghana no sovereignty papa ben ena omo. Ono so need your fire omo no say Ghana ni che da ni sovereignty papa bia. Timinja say as a member Ghana fans say omo sovereignty bia America for entumi emeye omo hwe nti Ghana de enye enkosi aga ono ne dia ono so de ba no. But I believe in Ghana. And I believe say any law nature no America for ankasa ya aware say Ghana is a sovereign state. And omuntu mi sorry keke maha say ye ba betu waban egu ana obechi President Mahama. Besides that would be a clear breach of UN international law. You cannot use force against a country. We haven't used anything against you. In to me sorry meka say Ghana no ba attacking. America for they will have no issue. Now America no Venezuela for relationship. No, it's a relationship of father and son. Any America for any father and son relationship. Yeah, nkwala yete ano. What you say? America for it's a Gold Coast country. Come and come Ghana pa. And I'm not saying America cannot do it. They can try. Say yet one on Christmas last year Christmas. Omo beto share Nigeria for so when we say terrorists for the northern side of Nigeria. Omo beto share almost. Maybe they can do it, but the Americans say Ghana no more yeah. Yes, we will take them to the United Nations. But again, I'm sure so busy because say if yeah, United Nations now they have no more. And you have a point. Because you won't think that America has done UN phone to me here. Also if there is a toll free number that can do is there a toll free number bet me afraid I catch almost all year Galamsey and I'll check for you there's a toll free number. But I'm telling you say some pass politicians nankasa no more yeah. Look at the toll free number now. But look, the issue we have is beyond toll free number. We have a big issue where politicians and their business partners who have power are the ones who are behind these people who are doing Galamsey, you know. And they come brofo said they are Nkosi. Mind you, Professor Frempo Boateng or no German trained professor Munina tried to stop Galamsey anye. Samosa where he tried to stop Galamsey and that Tanos anye. Galamsey issue is bigger because the people who are beneficiaries no, are the people who are pretending to fight it. That's the bottom line. Omo munya Galamsey no fast. Omo na pretending to fight Galamsey no. Enti Galamsey who fighting now wakopim. Because all the people who are supposed to stop it, the same people no pretending to stop the Galamsey. Clifford the Ashanti Media say if you it's only in NDC regime that the people compose songs for Dumsor. What a useless and evil party pacho. I think MPP times so there were songs for Dumsor. There were songs. Now it will be composition. My name MPP 4 years now composing, you know, and the NDC no. Yeah, let's look at the issue broadly. Let's not simplify the issue. Say when you the solution for like Galamsey no merely because of fire for there's a bigger issue at stake. There's a bigger issue. Daniel Ivan, see if you are doing a good job. Let's keep educating the people. Why? Dora Nate say good afternoon, madam. Dora, good afternoon to you too. I go to see if you some chiefs in the constituency, you know, are fighting over terrorists. So just to give to their campaigns, Galamsey campaigns. So no my Galamsey ni okay. Ono so na say no see chiefs in the crash actually. Chiefs ni actually. Na ya ban almost sorry omo kwaje car. Ewo aban oti akonya so dey. How can they even fight? Nka mo aban no ahemfo no mo na nka ye kan mo ye shadow second chamber of Ghana. Second chamber of parliament bisa. Mo na nka mo ye the on the side watchdog. Anka mo watch parliament. Mo watch executive, mo watch judiciary. By mo ahemfo na mo na nka mo jira nche mo check aban mo kwaje ka aban ho. Mo kwaje V8. Ya mama allowance kam ye increase allowance na wo betimi stop aban. Aban si on for ye Galamsey abetimi stop it. No wonder say ejoso a whole NDC executives etumi akoto a MC so brono. Yeah, brono because the MC is doing her legitimate job and the NDC government you. And you see that's why I miss idea and I'm going for example from both parties because MPP for by mo kai MPP supporters e ko mo judge. Omo ko twen a friend saying coordinator wo Kumasi ayede omo ko court omo ko to share judge no so ko bro judge no. And NDC had the to attack MPP first. One for legitimately to when NDC members attack President Kufuor the saying to wow lawyer what by and a bro judge and you are not saying anything. And when we are cock azan koko adanko da do prosecution be say dem confirm the court and so adanko da and this NDC for the omo kobo wa kumsi no ni ade ya and so omo share da yakwa dem confirm na court ye nim Ghana ha say echi obi a na edin photo aba say NDC for no ka dem for photo aba eti both NDC and MPP na crocodile John no mo ye no crocodile John adanko da do because MPP time supporters are kobo judge. And NDC first time so supporters so akwakobo awakumsi ni MPP branch broad daylight was like an execution star. You pro no mu you must say you said that the governor court akọ fine omo 5 million. There was no case in court. There was no case in court. So an MPP 4 times we have discontinued the case filed nolly prosecuted. So you are dreaming beyond NDC and MPP ya ne yebebre. You are dreaming beyond NDC and MPP ya yebebre. Because nobody is looking out for the people of Ghana. Yeah, joining on money, yeah, unnecessary politics. 7 to 4 if you I recommend the base to all Ghanaian youth. So we Ghana youth now onye so be joining the base. So see, I'm already connected to the base. You yati. Jdas will say the problem in ECG is not transmitters and transformers. It's purely financial. Instead of the government using the money to solve the Dumsor problem, it is using it to stabilize the dollar. Well, and also a good point. Obian him say ECG the car. Or the car as Esika no senka ECG was car. Commit me they changing the transmission cables na Ashanti region cables no fire dada. Even when somebody Osage for bad no cry Ashanti region cause still there's Dumsor in Ashanti region. There's a problem with Ghana ha. Grid transmission lines ne fire and ya papa. I will see a changing side transmission lines ni na because most of them are dada. To your point, that's the whole point. Today, very important. Say, omo the transmission lines ni nyina no. Yeah, the say sika na nke betimi dey change. Yeah, truly entire ECG. Yeah, they call dollar stability because of politics. The politics of the politics of stabilizing city, you know, just for for two no purposes. No, be on say yeah, buy, you're stabilizing, but there's a fundamental issue. And yeah, that Dumsor emu. And yeah, that Dumsor emu. And when you read IMF program, no, so now you start to say a tray, and also let us do politics beyond just NDC and MPP. Near more mining conning, which I said, this is my take for the day. Now, I'll bet you, and then, but I'm say, and then, baby, who link no, baby, who link, and sorry for that, because first, no, I think first, now come the 2 on them, but my name, I found 2 on them, because then, me see a bear 1 hour, yeah, baby, because see. And yet, do I be Casano and a betcha say Ghana? No, we are solving a problem. Sometimes it is the point, the forcefulness of making the point. You see, the forcefulness, the bluntness, the brutal nature of telling a bank said, here, this is not insult. Me better I mean do be at them. It's I make us a politician be no money. I'm forced at them deal currency until they pay people to go and insult their opponent. But you can make your point forcefully without any insult. You don't need to insult anybody. In this AI generation way, now also the obey answer be the atema. Oh, I just work actually. In this generation way, ube the atem just what I better trendy. Now better trendy 1 minute, and the issue will still be there. Because fundamentally, no, the citizens of Ghana are part of building the nation. You enjoy nation building in my NDC MPPO. We are part of it. Even if you say a coin, idea or the buy advantage, that's what the very good suggestion. I will be out here, you take it. You don't underestimate anybody. This is somebody who's using the brain. Say instead of so this cano ever stabilize the dollar na the boy economy. How about say emphasis cano mum truly ECG? Very truly great, fantastic suggestion. Onipa we uncle did atemo. Then I'm just say we the young generation must show say we are living in a generation that uses their brain, a generation that believes in intelligence, even to the point of artificial intelligence. Stephen to first time, but say okay, Stephen to my kind of messages. Now a case for Jesus or say the government of Ghana should start investing in solar energy. There's so much pressure on the grid. Absolutely. Another fantastic suggestion. Adia ba kwa mitutu kwa broche na mi hu say edru sama bulb nkiti kro mo de hye form to just to lighten if you be no akoto uko lows and I say Home Depot almost small light. Let me see the Ghana panty and penny for ya no madana. We can yet see abrochire crack and no summer 3 months na dum. But 1 minute we be bebono or the solar no the betchi am or the asokania. Why can't we turn all the street lights in Ghana to solar lights? But a bronchi obi beko akwaje contract. So okofa electric street light yaba. Na abaya manisika. Anka just udia contract kwa kodidi mu a. It's okay. Kofa solar light bra. For solar light, we should be able to have solar light across all your major cities. Tema Accra. There is no reason why I was here thinking. Now we live in the middle of the equator. We are on the equator. Yena yeda area nimu. Yena we are seeing 24/7. Now so yet Dumsor. We can turn simple. Me say I'm buying crab to make solar panels. Free the ababe go Ghana so bia o pay bibia kwaji so me say abrochire kra dey abroach America yeah aban omo state bebre wo omo ya o aban betimi aso wase na state na twia bia ma na why solar panels o dan so na yen ya tie awie mu 24/7 enka aban mokọ China ni Korea ni ade mokọ solar panels abas obi anje bi ngune dan ho na obi anye solar na aban betua o de aban betua 50% o nso tua 50%. And if you for domestic users of electricity, you never convert it to solar. No, Nanki pressure na what grade no so no thermal generation no gas generation in your form. The way they just say you didn't good pressure no so and I'm a koso mona phone. It's a koso mon just 20%. That's what I'm saying that say NDC for the catch so and a koso monuna a yibia shiwo and a omobua a koso mo gives us just 20% to pay. There's no way Akosomo is the reason why Ayenya the current Dumsor. It is a lie. Obia catch us. And this one, you don't have to be an electric engineer. it's just common sense. Unim the number of megawatts that is generated in Akosomo. Anya Akosomo now is the 3rd or 4th in the line of power generation. Just say who baby so no na sogli power plant do me ade kra ma just say Akosomo men who baby na Akosomo na nsuo na nkasa he ne ko since Burkina for you omo dam. How much water enters into the Akosomo dam anyway? Akosomo is not the cause of your Dumsor. We must fix the issue and deal with Dumsor issue, no, and stop making it look like Eric, don't cause if you're back California, all the homes require solar panels. And okay, California state be also more require home be also use solar panel. Now yet Ghana and the entire Ashama. Me say Ashama and crowdy Ashama ne tema kuragu solar panels. So Ashama ne tema. Udi enyina amunkofa solar panel equipment nimra so obi a upe bia be register fa Ghana card be register na yemfa ECT formra ofie ne yemfa megu dan so. Imagine the amount of reduction on the national grid ne ntinka tema tier 1 ni tier 2 ni ade nyina aboaze thermal generation nyina nka pressure beba from abro ni beye. Instead of thinking outside the box there be you pay the usual. You can find another car power, but no be contract to be a beji kakra bedi. You can find another Mary, but no be a beji kakra kudi. But we can use solar to be able to cut your consumption and the pressure on the national grid. Say they are granting this suggestion by you know. You're outside the box too. You're building your mind. We are not building NDC and MPP. We are building a nation that is worth building. So what you say? And si mamenda masi say nemunya abuche ATM na mo messages so my kind redon kono the last one by from California and also back California omu nyina ko California so omu ben desert mun kakra wo friend say Nevada nti omu believe say kakra kania no mbenya omu so omu the solar na be yi okay at least your street light there we should make it a law say your street light there all of them should go solar. All your street lights, Accra, Kumasi, Nina should be on street light. Now all the fear no, at least if fear 100% consumption, no cry solar cry. At least with TV no fridge solar, TV no fridge solar. Now the aka no if you light no cry, and now TV fridge so if you light, you solar. Fresh and a form will be able to move forward. But the way we are planning on mining here, we are not planning on mining for any sustainable growth. Because President Mahama a campaign no account for a 24-hour economy. One of the key issues of President Mahama can is Obama Kanya a 50% free. Na Kanya no crane yeah no sope no. Yeah, channel thought into better than a 24-hour economy no. Some okay. One of the key things that President Mahama promises to obey under a year friend saying no was that Omuba a 24-hour economy no 50% discount in electricity consumption. To our business you may be a will be joining a 24-hour economy. Now buying my own 100% electricity bill, but you half. Now send electricity no can you able to talk better than a 24-hour economy to me. And it's this solar panel a year friends a conversation. Your fun is serious. May you find here NDC MPP. Simple President Mama never from one in near a Baumia class about me no idea. Be fan come boom near quiet bet me idea where he should call him. Unnecessary policy that President Mama do whom me as a ninia o ninia omushia o de I know President Mama ni Ekufuado koshia o equal once and watch channel President Mama be say Ekufuado nkwa na obi of friend journey into the atna na didi atem o de o ka say why you who so useless say o de ma o kwensa na yeti kodidi nkofo atem and the people are giving you money to insult people omu de omushia omu na ma chia omu ho na omu stretch who so wo no my ojon Omo usika se kodidi nkofo atem when they meet each other no achia no yonko no asre chuchu na President Mama hagi President Kufuado wa hagi Baumia na oyama usika se kodidi atem you no be John you be John cry to the power too nti mama obi nya o John use your gumptions when we say politicians who omo nkofo omo sre then also sre who obi asre do your politics have your opinion basre don't let them use you like we a dog. Just all the useless yama. A do say encoded the atem and 7 quasi money at Frost Koye, would they discover in a coded in Cofatem. I don't know Nipano or Moma, Sicasa Codidi atem, jobs of Moma. Oh, say, Mahama Nasa Baumia, mu baby do be aged a baby diatem. A Kufuado Magelsi. One almost or what you be atem or baby. Now only a mower Juma 24/7, what the end is all bad, but do be atem. I will insult everybody. They have turned you into a back end dog, John. A whole person, a whole human being created in the image of God. One more nipa that's in here reduce to so your John. Don't do that. Emmanuel Ampia or say it is true. Said Baumia said it's all about solar panels during his campaign time. No, and also can say Baumia can. Baumia and Mahama can come together and do this issue, and it will be a very good thing for Ghana. But me never say Friday. Friday we have another show for you. Just 1 hour painting on a fire star baby. And good night, and thank you for listening to all the issues we want medicine na ye kroya and ye this commentary amamo said about obi abe hu so say Ghana sembi wo ho a mo resa na mo de ahye yen yaso ya no na yen yaba na yen yaba abeka